This is a very complex case, so we will have as many as 12 people actively working on the case at one time, including our...
Tammy Perez sat in the waiting room of Mercy Bariatric Center, her heart pounding so loudly she was certain everyone could hear it. Beyond the glass doors, nurses moved quickly through the corridors. The faint smell of antiseptic mingled with her anxiety. Clutched in her hand was a worn photograph of her and Amy Davis during better days, laughing together at some carnival, faces alight with joy and promise. Now, Tammy stared at the image with tears in her eyes. Here she was at 398 pounds, preparing to take what felt like the final and scariest leap of faith, bariatric surgery. Growing up in rural Ohio, Tammy had always struggled with her weight. Food felt like the only friend she could depend on. And after her mother passed away, food became solace, and eventually a trap. The turning point came last winter, when Tammy took a simple walk outside and felt a sharp pain in her chest. She collapsed in the snow, terrified and alone. The paramedics arrived just in time, but her doctor's words haunted her. At your current weight, your life is at risk: cardiac failure, diabetes complications. You need this surgery. Amy, her younger sister and often reluctant but devoted supporter, had been there from the dash of the ambulance. She held Tammy's hand in the ER, eyes terrified yet fierce with love. That's when Tammy decided this surgery wasn't a choice, it was a chance. A chance at life, at future. And though the fear of the unknown, a knife slicing through flesh, digestion forever altered, weighed on her, desperation outweighed dread. Now, in this cold waiting room, Tammy's nerves skyrocketed. She thought about the months leading up to today, the exhausting pre-op diet, the forced walks, the emotional roller coaster of hope and setback. A nurse called her name. "Tammy Perez," said Nurse Lopez, clipboard in hand. "Yes," Tammy whispered. "Come with me." They walked the antiseptic hallway to a small prep room. Tammy removed her clothes, replacing them with a pale blue hospital gown. A cold 4 was placed in her arm. The nurse took her vitals: blood pressure, heart rate, temperature. Every beep, every prick, made Tammy's chest tighten. "Your sister's here," Nurse Lopez said gently. "She's in the visitors' area until it's time." Tammy nodded, tears escaping unexpectedly. A blanket was draped over her, and she was wheeled down the corridor. Amy rushed to her side, clutching Tammy's hand. "You've got this," she whispered fiercely. "I'll be right there when you wake up." In the operating suite, surgeons and nurses moved with practiced efficiency. The lead surgeon, Dr. Patel, greeted Tammy. "Miss Perez," he said softly, looking into her eyes. "We're going to take very good care of you." Tammy swallowed hard. "Good luck," Amy mouthed. The anesthesia mask descended. Tammy's jaw felt heavy. Opening her eyes, the bright lights were harsh, but she saw Amy's face and felt immediate relief. "How'd it go?" Tammy croaked. "You did it," Amy said, tears in her eyes. "You're in recovery, and you're okay." Tammy's vision blurred with relief and exhaustion. As the reality set in, no heavy meals, no fast food binges, an electric resolve surged through her. She whispered, "I'm going to do this." Amy squeezed her hand. "We'll do this together." Weeks passed, each filled with small milestones: clear liquids, pureed foods, increasing activity. Tammy felt a lightness she hadn't experienced in years, not just physically, but emotionally. Every pound lost was a victory against fear. But it wasn't easy. Temptation lingered, the ache for comfort food digging at her resolve. The scars on her stomach ached sometimes, reminders of the cut, but also symbols of change. At a post-op appointment, Dr. Patel said proudly, "You've lost 25 pounds since surgery. Keep going, stay on this path." In the parking lot, Amy and Tammy embraced. "Next year," Tammy whispered, voice filled with newfound hope, "I want to walk across the state fair stage again." "And I'll be right there," Amy replied. As months passed, life shifted. Tammy found solace in therapy and a newfound passion for art. She joined a local painting class, and discovered she could channel emotions onto a canvas better than into a bag of chips. Yet it wasn't all smooth. The body reshaping left extra skin, and doctors began discussing the next surgeries: lifts, tucks, further transformations. Tammy gulped, fear and excitement battling in her stomach. One significant setback came when her car broke down. She couldn't drive to a scheduled lab appointment and felt the familiar panic, binge food temptation returning. But Amy stepped in, driving them both, reminding Tammy how far she'd come. That evening, Tammy sketched a sunflower, bright, reaching for the sun. And she realized, this transformation wasn't just physical. This was about growth, reaching, surviving. The anniversary of her surgery arrived. Tammy weighed herself and, for the first time, saw a number she never dreamed possible: 198 pounds. A full 200 pounds lighter. That night, Amy surprised her with a canvas, a half-finished painting, two sisters silhouetted against a sunrise. They finished it together, tears and laughs mixing with paint. They hung it in Tammy's living room, Rising, they called it. Tammy wore a long dress, a stretch for her old body. As she gazed into the mirror, she no longer saw limitations, just possibility.